Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of the Salford Stories podcast. This is Series 2, Episode 2. In today's episode, we're taking a look at Swinton and Pendleton, two areas with plenty of history, character and stories to tell. We'll also touch on some of the large housing estates in the area and explore how these communities have changed over the years. In future episodes, we'll continue further west through what many would call proper Salford, covering places such as Eccles, Winton, Monton and beyond. So, let's start with Swinton, Swine Town, Low. Now, depending on where you're from in Salford, you'll know that people can be quite territorial about their local area. There's always been a bit of friendly rivalry between different parts of the city. You'll often hear people from central Salford jokingly claim that places like Swinton, Eccles, Walkden and Little Alton aren't really Salford at all, despite the fact that they absolutely are. It's just one of those local traditions that never seems to go away. Swinton itself has changed a lot over the years. These days, it's a relatively quiet town, but there was a time when it had a reputation for being much rougher. Anyone who remembers the old Swinton precinct will probably remember Yates's, which was once one of the busiest pubs/clubs in the area. Unfortunately, there was a lot of shootings and stabbings at the pub and in the area around that time. The stories that came out of that place are legendary. On a weekend night, it could be absolutely packed, attracting people from across Salford and beyond. Unfortunately, it also gained a reputation for violence and disorder, with several serious incidents over the years. Eventually, the venue closed and was later converted into a Chinese buffet restaurant, marking the end of an era for Swinton's nightlife. Moving further through the town, many locals will remember Top Road, another area that was once much livelier than it is today. Back in the day, some well-known Salford characters and local businessmen ran pubs around there, and it was often a popular destination for a night out. Like many towns across Greater Manchester, changing habits and redevelopment have transformed much of the area, but older residents still remember when the streets were buzzing with activity. Top Road eventually leads towards Pendleton and the Height, which many people consider the gateway into what they call proper Salford. The Height itself has undergone significant changes in recent years, with new housing developments and regeneration projects gradually reshaping the area. Pendleton is one of Salford's most historic districts and is perhaps best known for the former Children's Hospital. For many people who grew up in Salford during the 1980s and 1990s, the hospital was a familiar place. Countless local children were treated there over the years, and it became an important part of many families' lives. The hospital was busy, respected, and played a major role in healthcare for generations of Salford residents. While healthcare services have changed over time, and many facilities have been redeveloped or relocated, the site remains an important part of the area's history and is remembered fondly by many local people. Geographically, Swinton sits between several neighbouring towns and communities. It links closely with Walkden and Little Hulton to the west, while still maintaining its own identity as one of Salford's principal towns. On the far side, the area stretches towards Kersley, which borders Farnworth and Bolton. It's worth noting that Kersley should not be confused with Kersal, which is much closer to central Salford, despite the similar names. One of the area's best-known attractions is Clifton Country Park and Clifton Marina. The park provides a welcome escape from the urban landscape and attracts walkers, cyclists, anglers and families throughout the year. With woodland, lakes and scenic trails, it's one of Salford's most popular beauty spots. Like many isolated outdoor locations, the area has occasionally experienced problems with theft and antisocial behaviour. Local anglers have sometimes reported having fishing equipment stolen while enjoying a day by the water, which is unfortunate given the peaceful surroundings. Nevertheless, the park remains a much-loved destination for residents across Greater Manchester. Despite some of the rougher stories from the past, it's important to remember that Swinton, like much of Salford, is ultimately defined by its people. Behind the headlines and old reputations are generations of hard-working families, strong communities and local pride. The town remains an important administrative centre for the city. Salford Civic Centre is located in Swinton and serves as the headquarters of Salford City Council. Alongside it sits one of the area's major police stations, reflecting Swinton's importance within the wider city. Today, Swinton is a town that balances its working class roots with modern development. While some of the old pubs, clubs and landmarks may have disappeared, the stories remain and they form part of the rich history that makes Salford such a unique place. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Salford Stories podcast. In the next episode, we'll continue our journey west, exploring Eccles, Winton, Monton and some of the surrounding communities, uncovering more stories in Salford's past and present. Until next time, thanks for listening.